Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have swatches for you from the May Polish Pickup. If you don't know what Polish Pickup is, every month a bunch of different indie makers get together and they make one product based off a universal theme, and this month's theme is Candyland. These products will be available May 1st through May 4th on the Polish Pickup site only. So in the description box below I will link the Polish Pickup site, their Facebook page, their Instagram page, and my Instagram page where you can see more swatches of everything from today's video. These are also exclusive to the Polish Pickup site. You won't be able to find these on the makers' sites, and you won't be able to find them after the close date of the 4th. So I have, I think, 30 products to look at today, and let's go ahead and get started. So starting with 77 Nail Lacquer, we have Eye Candy. This is inspired by Candytopia and is described as a pinky caramel apple red base with blue to purple to red shifting pigment and gold holographic micropigment. This will retail for $13, and there's a cap of 190 bottles available in the US and 10 available in the UK. So this has a good formula. It's very pigmented. I got it completely opaque in 2 coats. If you're not super picky, you might be able to get away with 1, but that second coat does deepen the red base. This has a super strong shimmer. I feel like you even saw it more so on the nail than in the bottle, which isn't typical. This is going to dry decently glossy all on its own. You will want top coat for longevity purposes, but nothing is going to dry textured or be difficult to remove. I also didn't have any kind of staining with this one, but it is a super pigmented red, so I would bear that in mind and wear a base coat. But in my swatch photo, you're going to see 2 coats of Eye Candy and a glossy top coat. So 77 actually has 2 contributions this month. They are also including a topper called Sugar Sugar. This is also inspired by Candytopia, and it's described as a clear base with blue to pink to purple shifting pigment, iridescent rainbow micro shreds, and iridescent rainbow flakies. This will retail for $12.50, and again it has a cap of 190 bottles available in the US and 10 available in the UK. So this one also has a good formula. I layered this 1 coat over black. I think you could get really pretty effect if you layered this over any other darker colors. It'd be really nice over a dark purple, a dark blue, something of that sort. I didn't have too much luck capturing the shifty shimmer that's in here. The flakes that are in here do come out nice. There's not an overabundance of them, and what does come out you will want top coat over because it will dry with some texture. The flakes that are in here are on the larger side, but nothing in this polish is going to be difficult to remove. So in my swatch photo, you're going to see 1 coat of Sugar Sugar over a black base and a glossy top coat. So next up from Anchor and Heart Lacquer, we have Look Jim, I'm Eating You. This is inspired by a Halloween episode of The Office where Dwight burns Jim by eating Jim's nerd candy. This is described as a grayish beige crelly with a purple to magenta ultrachrome chameleon flaky, a small scattered glitter in purple iridescence, and matte magenta. This will retail for $11.50, and there is no cap. So formula on this is really good. I got it completely opaque in 3 coats. The base of this does have to be a little bit more on the sheer side so you can see all of the added elements that are in here. I prefer this one with a matte top coat. I think it looks really, really beautiful matte. This is going to dry with some texture because of everything that's in here, so you will want top coat to finish this off. And removal is going to take a little bit of scrubbing. It's not too difficult because most of what's in here is relatively small, so it's not going to be super difficult, but it is going to take a little bit of scrubbing. But in my swatch photo, you're going to see 3 coats of Look Jim, I'm Eating You, and a glossy top coat. So Anchor and Heart is also contributing a Siren's Cure Cuticle Cream in the scent Double Apple. This is inspired by a fruity tropical drink, and it's scented Double Apple, a blend of tart green apple and sweet ripe pineapple. This will be available for $8.50, and there's a cap of 100 available in the US and 5 in the UK. I have grown to truly appreciate Anchor and Heart Lacquers, like skincare, nail care, cuticle care products, and then the Siren's Cure Cuticle Cream is something that I actually use a lot of. I have one that sits on my end table over here. I have one in the bathroom for after my shower, and then I have one downstairs on my nail desk. I use this all the time. This is a 1 ounce jar, so you're going to get plenty of use out of it for a good price. And what I find I like the most about Anchor & Heart's products is they don't just sit on the surface of your nail and get everything like greasy that you touch. It really soaks into your skin and it soaks in quickly, so I do truly appreciate that. The scent on this one is really good. I don't think it's too strong, but I do get mostly apple instead of like a mixture of apple and pineapple. It does smell like a tart apple to me. So that is the Siren Secure Cuticle Cream in the scent Double Apple. So up next I have a couple of products from a brand that I had never tried before, and this is Apipila or Apipila. Their polish contribution this month is called Sweet Pink. This is inspired by Street Candy and it's a stamping pink polish. It says it dries super fast and with just 1 coat. This will be available for $9 and there's a cap of 80 bottles available in the US and 20 available in the UK. So this is super pigmented, but I wasn't able to get it completely opaque in 1 coat. I did do 2 coats on this one. It does have these little metallic pieces in here and those show up really nicely on the nail. I don't think they're holographic. I don't remember them being holographic, but they are this like silvery metallic. Formula is good though. It's not too thick or too thin. I didn't have any issues with running, pulling, or staining, but again, this is a super pigmented polish, so I would recommend wearing a base coat. This is going to dry on the dull side and with the slightest bit of texture, so you'll want top coat for this. I did also show it being used to stamp over their Candyland plate, which is also offered this month for $14.50, and there is no cap on this one. In my swatch photo of this, you're going to see 2 coats of Sweet Pink and a glossy top coat, plus I used the sprinkles from the stamping plate that they are also offering this month. Talking more about the stamping plate, there's a ton of different super cute little candies, and there's gingerbread mans, and there's like ice cream, and there's donuts, and there's peppermints. There's a lot of really super cute stuff on this plate, and I did find it was extremely easy to use. I didn't have any issues with it picking up. I did only stamp on my nails with the sprinkles one, but I am not a great stamper, so I did test a few different ones on like a piece of paper before I made the decision on which one I actually wanted to go with. So I tried out a couple of these little bits that are up here. I did do the ice cream, I did the donut, I did the milkshake, and then I did try the peppermint swirl that's also on here, and I tried the little Candyland board that was down here, and then I decided that I wanted to just keep it simple and go with the sprinkles. So that's what I did on my manicure, but I didn't have issues with picking any of these up. I did use the Sweet Pink polish for all of that stamping. So up next from Black Dahlia, we have Sugar Dahlia. This is inspired by a gumball machine, and it's described as a deep violet jelly with a soft aqua shift, indigo aurora shimmers, blue to purple to green iridescent shifting flakies, and red to gold and magenta to teal shifting ultrachrome chameleon flakies. This one will retail for $11.50, and there is no cap. This polish is a little bit more on the sheer side. It does say it can double as a topper or be worn on its own. I am going to show it to you both ways. On 2 nails I used it as a topper over black, and then on 2 nails I showed what it looked like on 3 coats on its own. I didn't have any kind of running, pooling, or staining with this one. It is nice and shifty on the nail. You get a ton of these flakes out. You don't have to do any kind of fishing to get them out. Holding the bottle upside down, everything spreads out nice and evenly across the nail. Minimal manipulation. Very easy polish to work with. You are going to want top coat for this though, because some of these flakes can dry with some bit of texture, and it is going to dry pretty much, I'm going to say like halfway between matte and glossy. So it is going to need some top coat. But in my swatch photo, you're going to see 1 coat over black and 3 coats on its own, plus a glossy top coat of Sugar Dahlia. So next from Blush Lacquers, we have here Fishy. This is inspired by Swedish fish, and it's described as a royal blue curly base with a sea of red to orange to gold shifting multichrome flakes and a pink to orange shifty shimmer. This one will retail for $10.75, and there is no cap. I am truly in love with the combination of these royal brighter blues and the reds. Amy from Nail Polish Baby 90 got me on that kick, and I have not gotten off of it since. The formula on this one is good. I did 3 coats to build it up to opacity. The flakes that are in here stand out really, really nicely. Everything is nice and smooth and easy to apply. This spreads out nice and evenly across the nail. You don't have to kind of work to get those flakes to go anywhere in particular. Some of these flakes are on the larger side, so I would recommend using a top coat just to make sure everything is nice and smooth and it keeps your manicure lasting as long as possible. This also looks really beautiful matte. Nothing in this is going to be difficult to remove. I also didn't have any kind of staining. So in my swatch photo, you're going to see 3 coats of Here Fishy Fishy and a glossy top coat. So up next from Danny Vianna, we have Zombie Rainbow. This is inspired by a Skittles collaboration, and Danny Vianna drew inspiration from the limited edition flavor for Halloween in the zombie flavor. This is described as a gray crelly base with multicolored metallic micro flakes. This one will retail for $11.50, and there's a cap of 200 bottles available in the US and 10 bottles available in the UK. So this was actually a lot more pigmented than I expected it to be. I got this one completely opaque in just 2 coats. Formula was very smooth and easy to work with. I have not reviewed Danny Vianna on my channel before, but it is a fantastic brand. I've never had any complaints with anything I've purchased from them, and I've purchased a few things from Polish Pickup through them. I haven't purchased from their site. But everything that I've gotten has been really, really good, and this is no exception. I love the little tiny flakes that are in here. They're very easy to manipulate, very easy to spread out evenly across the nail. They didn't get lost in this base color though, and that's what really blew my mind. The base is more pigmented, and these little flakes are so delicate that I kind of assumed it would just do that, but no, I had no issues picking out those tiny little flakes. It was a truly pleasant experience to work with this. It is going to dry on the dull side, so you will want top coat for that reason, but nothing is going to dry textured or be difficult to remove. So in my swatch photo, you're going to see 2 coats of Zombie Rainbow and a glossy top coat. So up next from Colores de Carol, we have Fizzy Pop. This is inspired by grape soda, and it's described as a deep red base with a multi-chrome shift that goes from gold to green to pink to purple to teal, iridescent chameleon flakies, and a hollow dust. This one will retail for $12.50, and there's a cap of 250 bottles available in the US and 20 in the UK. This is another super pigmented polish. Formula on it was good. I didn't have any running, pulling, or staining. I did get it completely opaque in 2 coats. That second coat really deepened the base color on this one a good bit. This is going to dry pretty dull, so you'll definitely want top coat to finish this off, but nothing is going to dry textured or be difficult to remove. But again, with this super pigmented polish, I would just make sure to wear a base coat under this to avoid any kind of staining. I don't swatch with a base coat, and I didn't have any kind of staining, but as far as wearing it for a long period of time, I definitely would recommend using a base coat. Nothing in this is going to dry textured, nothing is going to be difficult to remove, and in my swatch photo, you're going to see 2 coats of Fizzy Pop in a glossy top coat. So up next from DRK Nails, we have Raspberry and Blue. This is inspired by Seven Bella, which is a Brazilian candy, and it's described as a blue jelly base mixed with lots of iridescent flakes in red to gold to green. This will retail for $13, and there's a cap of 200 bottles available. Formula on this is very smooth and easy to work with. I got it completely opaque in 3 coats. I prefer this one obviously with a matte top coat. Match your flakies, guys, because it is beautiful. But either way, you are going to want top coat to smooth this out. This can dry with some texture because these flakes are on the larger side, and it'll help bring the shine back to this polish. I didn't have any running, pulling, or staining with this one. So in my swatch photo, you're going to see 3 coats of Raspberry and Blue and a glossy top coat. DRK's other contribution this month is called Too Much Fun. This is inspired by sprinkles over the Brigadeiro, which is a very popular Brazilian candy. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to say that word. And it's described as a topper multicolored mix of 7 different iridescent and pastel flakes. This one will retail for $12.50, and there's a cap of 150 bottles available. I layered this one over this brick red. I kind of thought layering it over black, I might lose some of the colors. Layering it over a lighter color, I would definitely lose those iridescent flakes that are in here, so I decided to layer it somewhere in between not too dark of a color and not too light of a color, just to get the full effect of the flakes, and it was a beautiful combination. This did have a smooth formula. These flakes are easy to manipulate to get it to lie evenly across the nail. I didn't have any issues with my base color underneath showing or anything like that. I did top coat this to hide any kind of texture that this amount of flakes can bring. I didn't add a matte top coat though, and I'm really regretting that. Nothing is going to be difficult to remove in this polish, so in my swatch photo you're going to see one coat of Too Much Fun over a brick red plus a glossy top coat. So next from Esmaltes to Kelly we have Skittles Original. This is inspired by Skittles Original, and it's described as a thermal that goes from a clear to a red with red, orange, purple, green matte glitter in various sizes. This will retail for $12.50, and there's a cap of 300 bottles available in the US and 20 in the UK. So I did not know this was a thermal. I only have it swatched in its cold state. Formula on this is very smooth and easy to work with, completely opaque in 3 coats. These glitters come out easily. They spread out evenly across the nail, and there's a ton of them. But being that there is so much glitter, you are going to want top coat to smooth this out. They are offering a top coat duo, so I'll talk about that in a second. This is also going to be pretty difficult to remove because it's loaded with all this glitter, so I would recommend a peel-off base coat if you don't like the process of removing glitter. Your manicure won't last nearly as long, but you won't have any trouble with removal. But in my swatch photo, you're going to see 3 coats of Skittles Original and a glossy top coat, only in its cold state. So Esmaltes to Kelly is also offering a duo Smooth and Shine. This is a duo of the Smooth Glitter Translucent Top Coat as well as their Top Coat Shine Top Coat. These are 2 11 milliliter bottles. It'll retail for $15 and there is no cap. So basically this system is there's this Smooth Glitter Translucent Top Coat, and this is supposed to smooth out any kind of super chunky glitter that's going to have some intense texture to it, and it makes it nice and smooth. It does make it nice and glossy as well. I'm not sure why there has to be 2 top coats to this, because it does actually make it nice and glossy all on its own. But I did go ahead and complete the system and use the Shine top coat as well, and I didn't have any kind of texture. With these kind of super glittery polishes, I do recommend a nice thick glitter eating top coat to smooth things out, just so you don't have any kind of texture left behind, and the 2 of these together is supposed to accomplish that in 2 steps. It proved to be true on this because that polish, the Skittles Original polish, dried extremely textured, so I did use the duo on that and it worked marvelously. So up next from Flirtin' we have Kisses Matter. This is inspired by Hershey's Kisses, and it's described as a glitter polish which is packed with matte, hollow, and iridescent spring shades of blue and silver glitters. This one will retail for $11.50, and there's a cap of 75 bottles available in the US and 5 in the UK. So formula on this one was good. I did 3 coats on its own as well as 1 coat layered over white. I do think it made for a really nice topper. I did like it on its own, but I could still make out a good bit of nail line. So I do prefer it as a topper, and I think layered over white gives actually this really beautiful winter manicure. You are going to want top coat for this because it's going to dry with some intense texture. It is all glitter, especially if you build it up on its own. You might want to go ahead and grab that Esmaltes to Kelly top coat duo. And removal is going to be pretty difficult. So in my swatch photo, you're going to see 1 coat of Kisses Matter over white and 3 coats of it on its own, all with the glossy top coat. Up next from Heather's Hues, we have Sugar Crush. This is inspired by the sweet and stunning candy landscapes created by artist Pip and Pop, and it's described as a dark turquoise to sheer light turquoise thermal packed with a rainbow of iridescent flakies. This will retail for $12.50, and there is no cap. Formula on this is good. It's not too thick or too thin. It's very easy to work with. I find in general thermals can be on the thicker side, and when you add these kind of flakes in there, it tends to thicken up really, really quickly. But I didn't have any issues with it being too thick. I am somebody who prefers a more subtle thermal as opposed to like the super contrasting thermals. So this one really calls to me. I think this is a stunning color in both the warm and the cold state. I think the flakies that are in here are really nice. You are definitely going to want a top coat for this because it will dry not only dull but textured, so top coat definitely recommended. I only used a glossy top coat for this, but I think it would be absolutely stunning matte as well. Nothing in this polish is going to be difficult to remove, so in my swatch photo you're going to see 3 coats of Sugar Crush and a glossy top coat. Up next from Kathleen & Company we have Swirly Twirly Taffy. This is described as a neon turquoise base with neon pink hex glitters in various sizes. This will retail for $12 and there's a cap of 290 bottles available in the US and 10 in the UK. Formula on this was smooth. I didn't have any issues with it being too thick or too thin, no running, pulling, or staining. You get a good amount of these glitters out and you don't have to do any kind of swirling or holding the bottle upside down to get them to come out. And they do spread out decently evenly across the nail as well. I did 3 coats to build this one up to opacity. You're going to want top coat to smooth everything out because it is glitter. It is going to dry with some texture and it's also going to be a little bit more difficult to remove. This was definitely a standout for me this month. I think it's so beautiful. It reminds me of Sully from Monsters Inc. I think it's fun. It reminds me of the inspiration of like candy in general, so I really, really like this. In my swatch photo, you're going to see 3 coats of Swirly Twirly Taffy and a glossy top coat. So up next from KB Shimmer, we have Fruit Slices Yummy Yummy. This is inspired by Fruit Slices and it's described as a bright coral colored jelly polish accented by color shifting flakes that go from orange to lemon yellow and lime green. There's also a micro holographic flake in here just to add a little bit of sparkle. This will retail for $10 and there is no cap. I love this. This is such a fun color. It's such a summery color. It's a beautiful polish. It took 2 coats to build up to opacity. No issues with running, pulling, or staining. No issues getting these flakes out of the bottle. Everything lied nice and evenly where I didn't have to work to get it to spread out evenly. This is going to dry dull and with some texture though, so you will definitely want top coat for that reason. I don't think I added a matte top coat. I did. I added a matte top coat. So in my swatch photo, you're going to see 2 coats of Fruit Slices Yummy Yummy and a glossy top coat. To see anything that I put matte top coat on, I will have that on my Instagram page. KB Shimmer's other contribution this month is their Sugar Scrub in the scent Spun Sugar. This is inspired by cotton candy, and it says the scent starts with a sugary notes of raspberry cotton candy and tart lemon, and it's anchored together with undertones of musk and caramel. This will retail for $10 and there is no cap. I love KB Shimmer Sugar Scrubs. You get so much product from these and you get so much use out of just one for only $10 and they're a fantastic product. These are nice and moisturizing. I use them all the time. Before I start swatching, after I'm done swatching, I use them on my legs in the bath. I use them on like my arms in the shower. I use these things all the time. They don't have any antibacterial properties though, so it doesn't replace washing your hands, which I feel is necessary to say in this time. This one in particular does have a really good smell. It's definitely kind of like carnival-esque as far as the cotton candy scent goes. It is a nice, sweet, sugary scent. This is also has the little silver micro glitters that are on top of it, and it just makes it a little bit more fun to use. So that is the Sugar Scrub in the scent Spun Sugar from KB Shimmer. Moving right along from Lollipop Posse Lacquer, we have Skip to the Sweet Shop. This is inspired by Candy Sprinkles, and it's described as a neon purple base filled with bright pink shifting iridescent flakes, iridescent shifting micro glitters, and holographic accents. This will retail for $13 and there is no cap. This is the kind of purple I really enjoy. I think these added elements in here are so beautiful. Everything is so shifty. Everything works together so nicely. This has an incredible formula. It is a jelly base. I did do 2 coats for this. Depending on your application, you might want to go in for a 3rd. It is going to dry dull and slightly textured, so you'll definitely want top coat for that reason. I did also show this one with a matte top coat if you're interested in seeing that. It is stunning, spoiler alert. This is going to take some scrubbing to remove though, so if you don't like that, you might want to use a peel-off base coat. But in my swatch photo, you're going to see 2 coats of Skip to the Sweet Shop and a glossy top coat. Up next from Limby Designs, we have Salty Bish. This is inspired by saltwater taffy, and it's described as a pastel cornflower blue base with blue to purple to green and pink to blue to purple shifting flakies, pink to purple to gold shifting shimmer, and a gold micro flaky. This one will retail for $12, and there is no cap. This is a super pretty polish, very ethereal on the nail. The hollow that's in here stands out really nicely. The flakes aren't the forerunner of this polish, so I didn't put a matte top coat on it. I would have lost the hollow that way, but they are there and they are beautiful. This does take 3 coats to build up to opacity. You're going to want top coat because it does dry on the dull side. Nothing in here dry textured though, and nothing is difficult to remove. So my swatch photo, you're going to see 3 coats of Salty Bish and a glossy top coat. Up next from Night Owl Lacquer, we have Candy Coated. This is inspired by brightly colored candy coatings, and it's described as a bright indigo jelly filled with iridescent color shifting crystal chameleon flakies. This will retail for $12.50, and there is no cap. I love this so much. It leans less indigo to me and more periwinkle, so I think that's why periwinkle's for some reason one of my favorite colors to wear. So when I see a periwinkle, since they're not made super often, I get really excited. The flakes that are in here are stunning. They stand out so beautifully in this jelly base. Everything builds up nicely to create some depth, and I really like it. This does take 3 coats to build up to opacity. I did show this both matte and glossy. Obviously I prefer it matte, but you wear it how you want to wear it, but matte top coat's the way to go with flakes. Either way, you're going to want top coat. These flakes are on the larger side and they will dry with some texture, but nothing is difficult to remove. So my swatch photo, you're going to see 3 coats of Candy Coated and a glossy top coat. Up next from my brand Pampered Polishes, we have Double Stripes Break Doi. This is inspired by Sugar Rush from Wreck-It Ralph, and it's described as a soft pink crelly with colorful ultra chrome chameleon flakies, bright blue micro flakies, iridescent micro flakies, and a smattering of hollow. This will retail for $13, and there is no cap. So I think the formula on this is good and easy to work with. There's a ton of these flakes in here without having to do anything special. You don't have to hold the bottle upside down to get them to come out. They come out in an abundance. They spread out nice and evenly across the nail. They're all relatively small, so nothing should dry textured and nothing should be difficult to remove. I personally prefer this with a matte top coat. If you know me by now, this is my jam. It's pink, it's flakies, it looks good matte. So I like my contribution this month. In my swatch photo, you're going to see 3 coats of Double Stripes Break Doi and a glossy top coat. Up next from Apipila, we have Love Apple. This is inspired by a sweet apple that's a very popular candy in Brazil, and it's described as a deep red magnetic with a sparkly shimmer. This one will retail for $12, and there is no cap. This is super pigmented. I did 2 coats to build this one up to full opacity. Normally with my magnetic polishes, I like to build it up to opacity, add an extra coat, and then magnetize it, because with magnetics it does tend to pull from other areas on the nail that are completely opaque and make them a little bit more sheer there. I didn't have that issue with this because it's super pigmented, so I did just do 2 coats and then magnetize this. Formula is very smooth and easy to work with. Again, this is a super pigmented red. I would definitely recommend wearing a base coat for this. I didn't personally have any staining, but it is possible. You are going to want top coat to bring some shine to this, and I did notice that a friend of mine, Polish to the Nines on YouTube here, she showed me before and after top coat, and it made it so much more vibrant of a red. It was impeccable. So I definitely recommend using a top coat for this, for the shine and to bring it more vibrant of a color. Nothing is going to dry textured or be difficult to remove. In my swatch photo, you're going to see 2 coats of Love Apple and a glossy top coat. Apipila other contribution this month is called Sweet and Shine. This is inspired by candy with glitters, and it's described as a magnetic top coat with a galaxy gold glitter and a little orange iridescent flake. This will retail for $12, and there is no cap. So it does say it's meant to be a topper. I actually built this one on its own to full opacity in 3 coats. The photos of it on the site though as a topper are really stunning. I probably should have done that as well. Did not know at the time that I was swatching it that it was a topper. Formula is really good though, very easy to work with. I did 3 coats like I said of this, and I achieved mostly full opacity. If you have longer nails or a more visible nail line, you might still be able to make out your nail line in 3, and it would probably work best as a topper for you. but to get the strongest magnetic pull, I do think building it up on its own is best. You are going to want top coat for this. It is going to dry with some texture because of the gold glitter that's in here, and it will also be a little bit more difficult to remove because of that. So in my swatch photo, you're going to see 3 coats of Sweet and Shine and a glossy top coat. Up next from Rogue Lacquer, we have Jawbreaker. This is inspired by the classic Jawbreaker, and it's described as a white curly base packed with metallic red, gold, and blue microflakes. This will retail for $12, and there is no cap. Formula on this is good. I did 3 coats to build it up to opacity. You will want top coat just to bring some shine back to this, but all these flakes that are in here are relatively small, so nothing should dry textured. They do spread out evenly and easily across the nail, and they are easy to get out of the bottle. I didn't show this with a matte top coat, but I do think it would be really beautiful. Nothing in this polish is going to be difficult to remove, so in my swatch photo, you're going to see 3 coats of Jawbreaker and a glossy top coat. Rogue Lacquer's other contribution this month is their Take It Off soy-based nail polish remover. This is inspired by Skittles candy, and it says, while you need to have a little bit more patience with this remover than straight acetone, it is a fantastic alternative that removes your polish and hydrates your skins and cuticles during removal. This will retail for $7, and there is no cap. This is a 2-ounce bottle of remover. I did demonstrate it over the Jawbreaker polish, the Rogue contribution, as far as how it removes, and it worked just fine. My polish, my top coat, everything was completely dry before I decided to use this. I didn't use a peel off base coat or anything underneath those. I don't use that under my swatches. It takes way much more time than it needs to, but and it did a fantastic job with that, and it did leave my skin nice and hydrated, but I don't think this is an ideal remover as far as like a glitter polish goes. I personally would take pure acetone for glitters like that and just hack at my nails with it and hydrate after. But this is a really good nail polish remover as far as like those flaky filled polishes go, or like a straight cream would be. I don't know if she's offering this on her site or just through Polish Pickup at the moment, but it is a good remover and it does smell really nice. And we've reached the finish line with Vanessa Molina's Wild Berry. This is also part of the Skittles collaboration, and she chose the Wild Berry and Tropical flavors. It's described as a blue to purple thermal with violet, shimmer, and iridescent flakies. This will retail for $13, and there is no cap. Formula on this is very smooth and easy to work with. I didn't have any kind of running, pulling, or staining. This wasn't too thick or too thin. It was just nice and easy to work with. You get a good amount of these flakes out. You don't have to do any kind of swirling or fishing to get them out, and they do lie evenly and easily across the nail. This was also super easy to get it to transition from the purple to the blue, a nice strong thermal effect. This is going to dry dull, so you'll definitely want top coat to bring some shine back to this, and some of these larger flakes can dry with the slightest bit of texture, but nothing in this is going to be difficult to remove. So in my swatch photo, you're going to see 2 coats of Wild Berry and a glossy top coat. That is it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of the array of polishes that I had to share with you today. Let me know what your favorite was from this month's video. Let me know what you plan on picking up from this month's polish pickup. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time.